I'm Simon Blaxland. I've been collecting pictures by Ardizzone, drawings, the occasional watercolour as well, probably for around 25, 26 years now. What first sparked my interest was I used to work for a very short time, for about a year, at an art gallery in Sunning Hill near Ascot called Austin Desmond. And I didn't know anything about art. I'm colourblind as well, which wasn't great, but I saw some of the original drawings for a book I used to read when I was a child called The Otterbury Incident. Those were illustrations by Edward Ardizzone, and I sort of picked up on his stuff and gradually got to like him then, and the more I found out about him, the more interested I was. He had some interesting people collecting him. There was someone called Pamela Barlow, who was the head of the English Communist Party. Absolutely loved his work because she said, you know, he deals with everyone sympathetically, even if it's ladies of the night or drug soldiers or something. So and I think it was I think what I really like about his work is the atmosphere you get over. You get over that everything's sort of going to be all right. Everything's nice and lovely, but he's not overlooking the nasty side of life as well. How did it turn into a collection? That's quite interesting because the first piece was bought for me by my parents. It was the cover of a book called The Alley by Eleanor Estes, and I absolutely loved it. It has not only has the picture, it also has the squares drawn in it as well, so you get an idea of the wraparound of the cover and everything. For a long time that was the only Ardizzone that I had, and then after a while I began to notice that his stuff was becoming available at auctions and at galleries, and very quickly, after a gap of about 10 or 15 years, I very quickly got the appetite for it, and wherever I could afford to buy something of his, and I thought it was a picture that appealed to me, which nearly all of them do, I picked up the collection fairly quickly from there. My collection is varied. There's a mixture of book illustrations. There are some things like menus that he's done for restaurants in London, things that he scribbled on the back of invitations to Royal Academy shows, to wedding invitations, little caricatures he's done. I do particularly mostly like the sort of fairly free things, the pen and ink illustrations, particularly where he's got marking up around the outside of how it should fit within the page of the book that the illustration is for. I absolutely love those because you can see his marking. But there's one here, for instance. This is from Bible Stories, which has some of his marking up here. Just put the title down there as well. And I just think, to look at that, to think one person did all that with that amazing hatching is just unbelievable, and gets so much charm out of it. That's probably the majority of the pen and ink things, but there are also the occasional colour watercolour. This is one of them, which is the Royal Garden Party, and I love this one because as well as the lovely colours, you get over the characters very well. You sort of seem to know all the people who are sitting there. There's the gentleman top hat, there's the woman in the lovely hat and the dress there, and instead of just being sort of background people, everyone, I think, in every Ardizzone picture has their own personality and character, and that's what I particularly like about that. I never had the chance to meet Ardizzone, unfortunately, because I sort of was interested in his work after he passed away, sadly. What I have done is, on a couple of occasions, I've met people who were students of him when he was a teacher, and thankfully the stories that come back are, as you can imagine, what a lovely chap he was. I've heard his Desert Island Discs on Radio 4, and he sounds like he's just having a wonderful time. And his students, absolutely, the ones I've met, absolutely loved him and said he was very, very encouraging. He wasn't someone who would put people down. He was a great teacher.